That is exactly right. Gambit have toppled the Grayhound here. My bad, I had a little bit of a stutter issue there. Nonetheless, it was a little bit of a stutter there in the beginning, but however, it does look like Gambit has come online. They have activated themselves, and they have found success across Dust 2. My name is Trey Saranthus here on the analyst desk, and of course, to my right will be Pimp and Bleh, and we're going to try to make some sense of what started as a little bit of a topsy-turvy ride, turned way into Gambit's favor.
Seemed like Gambit found
the we got a little bit of an issue here. Not sure. Probably broke something.
I can hear myself.
Yeah, let's go with this. Bleh,
I'm sorry, man.
Let's start with you. And actually, if you want to say anything derogatory towards Pimp, now is actually the opportunity.
Nah.
Okay, good.
I'm a nice guy. Okay, here's the thing with Grayhound, right? It is their map pick. You'd expect them to have something to show for it, but their decision-making was pretty horrendous, especially when it comes to mid-round decision-making, right? There's so many rounds where they got picks coming in. They got the opening picks, multiple rounds where they didn't know what to do. They just kind of slowed things down, just hoping to find another pick, and obviously Gambit shutting it down. Mo was getting free kills almost every single round with that op of his towards mid. That should never have happened. They should have countered that at one point or the other. And then, of course, they weren't able to basically abuse Gambit's default CD side setups. They weren't able to do much about it, which is unfortunate. And then here's one more thing which really triggered me. I think Chad really pointed it out. He pointed this out, and I really agree with him, was the fact that they saved 2 SMGs. And they went for a force buy with the SMGs. They didn't have that many rounds to work with. And after that, the economy just went to crap. And yeah, it wasn't a great showing, to be very honest. I thought it'd show more, considering that it was their map pick.
I agree with everything you just said.
You nailed it.
Yeah, I nailed it.
I thought you were talking the whole time. We just, I don't know, for whatever reason, we couldn't hear you. It was crazy. But yeah, I think Bleh's onto something. Also, it's kind of hard to topple in a Dren once you get him started. And again, this Gambit lineup isn't something where we necessarily see that consistency either. We went from a major winning Gambit to the Gambit we have today. And I think one interesting aspect of it, though, you'll see him there on the screen now, is the new addition that they brought in this lineup. Pimp, what do we know about him?
Well, we know he is good at dwelling teams and making the best out of a bad situation. He was playing with Flipside for, was it three or 4 years, and he managed to qualify them for the major, I think 6 times in a row, 5 times in a row, or something like that, with a fairly limited roster in terms of talent. He made the best out of a bad situation, basically. And he's very praised for that, and he's shown time and time again that he has the mind for Counter-Strike. When it comes to individual play himself, he's not the best out there, and that's why he's now turning into the coaching role, which I think will suit him well, and which I think will suit Gambit well in the time being right now. I think it's one of those projects where it takes a little bit of time for him to get glued into the team and figure out, how do I enable the stars that I have? How do I enable Doja again to play well? How do I enable Adrian to be one of the best players in the world again? How do I enable Hobbit all at the same time? It's a lot of big questions he has to figure out, and that's not something you do overnight. But overall, I think Blade is the right man for the job. We talk about Ryan K being a good man for MIBR. I think this one is equal good pickup for Gambit.
Right, tactically speaking, this guy has been around and has proved his worth many years in a row now in terms of the tactical approach of the game. But I think at this time, you got to kind of speculate what they're actually saying after that win.
Look, here's the thing with Blade, right? I mean, the guy's legendary. He's been one of the oldest in-game leaders in the CS region for donkey's years, right? For 10+ years. The thing is, his system is a very different style to what most teams are used to when he was played with Flipside Tactics. And trying to implement that particular system, I don't think he's going to be going into all 100%. He's going to be taking a little bit from Gambit and trying to apply a system, but that's going to take a while. I think there was an interview where he mentioned recently that it's going to take at least a couple of months before or at least a month before they start to see some results, or when Gambit starts playing the way he wants to play. So right now it's kind of like a transition period. We're trying to figure things out. And this event, I feel like the reason they're not, they're all over the place, because they kind of figure out what the mistakes are, what those small little issues are. So it's going to take a while. But yeah, that was a pretty convincing performance. But then again, just a caveat, it was helped out a lot by Grayhound making some fundamentally, I wouldn't say like bad plays or whatnot, but they seem kind of lost there. Some weird decision-making coming out from Grayhound.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to click his forehead, I think, is the sentiment that I can run with, at least. You see what I did there?
Yeah, so
it's not bad, it's not the best, not the worst. Either way, we could talk a little bit about Grayhound here real briefly, and what they can hope to do better in this next match.
We need to see Gratification step up a notch even more. It's not that he had a bad game at all, but he needs to be even better on Overpass if they want to do anything. Mao is a great competitive AVP player on Overpass.
And it's looking pretty hot right now.
And it's looking pretty hot as well. And we need Gratification basically to be that dominant force for Grayhound if they want to take the next step into a game against Gambit. Whereas for Mao, he's just going to do his thing. I think it's going to be a rough one on Overpass. I feel Gambit is a decent team on Overpass. Obviously, it's their pick as well. It's going to be one of those cases where if Grayhound don't play the best game they've ever played, they're going to lose this 1-2-0.
The thing with Grayhound is also the fact that Overpass is I think, their best map as well. This lineup has played 16 maps and have lost only once.
Yeah.
That is online and LAN combined, and does also
Against
inflated
Australian
against
teams.
Australian teams. But hey, they know how to play this map. I'm hoping to see at least a closer affair than what we saw in Dust 2.
I mean, there's certainly a potential to be a closer affair. I mean, this is the first game of the day for both these teams, and believe it or not, that is one of those other asterisks that usually gets thrown around rather leniently when it comes to, oh, this is the first game of the day.
Lineups.
My goodness, it's the first game of the day. There's a stand-in. My coffee was at 3 degrees Celsius, and that's not how I usually
Who
like
the
it.
hell drinks coffee at 3 degrees?
I don't know, man. I don't even really know what 3 degrees Celsius is. Anyway, let's talk about it in terms of silver linings that I think Gambit could, maybe not silver linings, but weaknesses. What could be holes in their game plan here on Overpass?
Well, I mean, okay, very quickly would be the fact that they relied a lot on individual brilliance, right? Mo getting multiple kills, always lonesome. But if also had Adrian getting a lot of multi-kills and all that. But apart from that, I didn't really see any. How do you put this across? On the CD side, on Dust 2, there weren't any aggression from Gambit. It's very passive plays coming in. So on Overpass is a map where it's a very tactical map. You want to see that aggressive CD side taking control of maps. I'm not talking about ultra aggression, but being a little bit of control aggression. We might want to see that.
No doubt. I think Blade can be the most dangerous thing for them. If he wants to implement his system too fast, it can mess up with how they want to play the game and the confidence in general. On the other hand, it can also be the best thing that ever happened for them. So it's one of those give and take scenarios where I think Blade, in a month or two, he'll be gold for them. Right now, he could be the most dangerous person on the team.
Now, you've got about 30 seconds, and I know you prepared something here, Pimp. Blay, I'm not so sure on your end, but I know that this was really important to Pimp, so we're just going to kind of kick it off like this. It's hashtag National Girlfriend Day, I believe yesterday, but the time zone thing. Pimp, anything you'd like to say? You got about 5 seconds.
I have nothing to say to anyone.
Outstanding. I would like to give a shout-out real quick. You know, I got one of those girlfriend things. Blay, you got anyone you shout-out?
Yeah, shout out, whatever.
Yeah, cool, man. Sick. Anyway, it's going to be one of those things where we're going to be going into Overpass, and this could be a dangerous showing. We've got Gambit, we've got Grayhound, and they're both fighting to stay alive here. And with that, we're going to be jumping into the action. This is Chad and Matthew.
I did not realize it was Connor Pimp McGregor over there. I apologize to absolutely no one.
I thought you were going to say that and say you and I are both single. Slide into the DMs; they're open.
Oh, yeah,
but,
they might are open too. That's a good point.
Anyway, let's talk about the
I'm
counter.
going to specify I would prefer it to be female.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, I'm sure Dexter would have preferred to get a couple kills there. Instead, he's going to fall to Hobbit. Grat's going to get tagged on up. 7 HP as he skedaddles out of town. Tail tucked between the legs as he's been humbled early. And at this point, the mid-round decision-making from Gambit has been well and truly better than that of Greyhounds, as they've had to pivot into a 2-2, and it is going to be B hit. The smoke's going to come on out, the flash is going to follow, and the B attack will be on.
Just already behind barrels. Best armor you can have in a pistol round is probably those barrels. It doesn't matter if Doja hits headshots, though, which he's done exactly that, but they are still in a 3-on-3. Gratisfaction, only with 7 HP, has to play very passively. Oh. Dick Stacy gets absolutely wrecked as well. I thought, yeah, maybe he can go for the boost. He'll be the low HP player. Gratisfaction will put Dick up, and instantly they both got headshotted. One dying, one left with 1 HP. Bomb is planted. This round goes the way of Gambit.
It's unusual that Dozy is the one putting the dick down.
But he does. He just did.
Normally
Raise your dongas.
The Sex God Zora normally has a different effect, but this time round, 4 for him. And Greyhound have found themselves in a precarious position where they are opting to just go for a pistol upgrade with no armor behind it. So, Deagle.
I don't mind it if I'm completely honest.
I like it, especially on the CT side.
Yep.
I much prefer it on the CT side. Dexter on the Deagle, Malta on the 5-7 with a flash, Grat with a flash and a USP, Cast with a Deagle, and a CZ75 for Mr. Dick Stacy on the case once more. Posturing in anti-eco positions, a trend with the AK, looks towards long, no in tow. With the Galil in the underpass is Hobbit, making sure no aggression from that side of the map. Swinging around with the bomb on his back is Dozier, and then over towards B, mitigating any aggression is Mia now. They're going to regroup. No pushes have come in. Clear long, use the ranged advantage of the rifles. Want to steer clear of those close quarter corridors where possible. That's where the pistols do their best work, especially like the 5.7 and the CZ. Shoots 2 bullets, gets 1 headshot. Nice to see from Adren, appears to be slowly getting back more and more of his precise aim. Bomb site's open for business. Bomb will go down. Utility will be dispersed to hold off the choke points. And I would be holding on to those pistols if I was Grayhound.
They're going to do exactly that. Back out, get away. So Deagle 5-7, CZ 75. Lots of differences. Gambit going to pick up their second round early on. Bomb planted in both occasions. Doji finds yet another kill. It's Gratisfaction that goes down, but again, just to go back to your point about not buying the armor in this round, Chad, obviously that leads to more money later on, which is what they want. Chances of winning this round pretty slim as it is, unless you want to play super aggressive and have armor to try and pick up a gun that you catch off. It's better to play the long con, and that's what they're going to do.
You know what they say about mo money, Matt.
Mo problems.
Bomb goes off. Every counter-terrorist is hit the floor in a body bag and dragged away as we kick on into round number 3. We'll be experiencing another eco round from Grayhound. This time Malta's grabbed a flash. Dick's gone back on the CZ. See if anyone else opts to upgrade at all. 3 MAC-10s from Gambit tells me that it's going to be relatively fast play. Maybe grabbing sewer or water control, or maybe pushing quickly through connector, but no, it's just the default spread. Mo, Adren, Playground, Hobbit, connector, Mia over towards B, Dozier helping him out, but it's going to be a long flash coming in. So action on as Mo steps around the corner, MAC-10 in hand, bullets are exchanged, the number of players will have been called, and the CTs rotate swiftly back to find another position, another point of attack. Molotov is going to...
Certainly 2 things at play here. One is the bonus round availability in the next round with these 3 MAC-10s, and 2 is obviously the fact that there wasn't armor bought by Grayhound. It's a chance to farm up cash for Gambit, knowing that they're actually going to be a slightly more fortified, if you will, in the next round, that they give themselves a bed to work with. So it's kind of a double situation, a double benefit here running these MAC-10s. No armor as well, should make it easy for them. Adren gets 1 kill on the AK, mind you, but here we go. Doja stings in behind, and 2 for him. $600 for each of those. And Mir as well has got a good return on investment. Mo, unfortunately, didn't get that opportunity, getting flanked out very cleverly by a pistol, but Dexter, the man to do so, has picked up a MAC-10 of his own. All he wants to do is farm cash at this point. It doesn't matter if he saves that weapon. They're going into a gun round, and they've saved accordingly.
Matt, I think you're similar to me.
I hope not.
Would you pay 700 euros at a club,
Sure.
a rooftop bar in China, for a table?
It's circumstantial.
Because that's how much it cost. And it was a Wednesday night, and there was hardly anybody
Oh,
there.
so you did this?
No, I didn't. I'm not
Oh,
a
okay.
spud at all. I'm not spending bloody 700 euros on a table.
9 times out of 10, the answer is no. Depending on the occasion, there might be a yes in there.
Maybe if it's a birthday or something.
You know, if it's family occasion, if it's the most incredible girl in the world.
Sure, let's flash the cash.
Yeah.
It's going to be a B play quite quick here. That bonus round not really coming in as they only saved 1 MAC-10, but the fast play is where the action is as Malta steps up from the barrel. We'll get 1 immediately traded by Adren, and now pressure on Urcast and Dick Stacey stuck behind the smoke wall. Adren continues the rampage from the previous map as he grabs another, and now Dick in the smoke pops his head out.
Mo's got it. Chops it off. The other aspect of your question is that if it's just 700 for a table, everything else on the menu is going to be extremely expensive, right? So in that case, the answer is probably no.
Yeah.
So Dexter and Gratisfaction trying to hold weapons. Trying to make amends with the fact that they are now going to go down 4-0 to Gambit on a T side of Overpass.
Is their map choice. Keep that in mind.
Yes. I mean, that's something that maybe even is encouraging. And the fact that they're saving this op and M4, it's discipline. It's unfortunate that they're in this situation, but it is still very early in this game. Now, the other aspect of the unfortunate side of it, as we get some music, is with the SMGs, the MAC-10s that came out, with the 3 rounds, now the 4th going in favor of Gambit, there wasn't a whole lot of reinvestment. If I saw it correctly, there was $10,000 on a Dren pre-buy.
Yeah. So he has 9,950. Hobbit has 8,800.
8,800?
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. 79.50 for Mia, and then Dozier and Mo are a little bit under that level, but it's not going to matter too much because they can drop and drop and drop and drop. And the opening kill will go down to Grat, who will now rotate back. Dexter will go down. That's the saved rifle out of play very, very early, and now the 3 pistols over towards the B-bomb side of Caustic, Stacy, and Malta are going to have a lot of work to do. I think the short push will be the play, the call that comes in. They need to find a frag, and that they will as Mia goes down. Now there's more guns on the table to find, and re-aggressing with the AWP is Grat. This is a big round from him. 2 huge kills. Hopefully going to funnel Gambit into some poor decision-making, and it does appear that B is where they want to head up. They have an AK now in play. They have the AWP still on Grat, and there is another rifle to be scavenged that Dexter dropped earlier in the round. So let's see how this duel goes down as they make their way through Monster.
Dren with a Molotov that goes all the way toward the barrels. That aids in Doji's approach because he's already inside of Monster. That's the only angle he can't really control. Once that's cleared, he's got a bit of a wall to work with. He can cover off the angles and take his fights accordingly. So it's well timed and well struck. It's now going to be Doja working in, clears out the bags as well. That opens up access from water, but they have to watch the swing from Dick Stacy if he works back to connector. Adren goes with. He'll find one, perhaps. It's Doja instead that gets both. Now the flank from Dick, though, becomes a problem as he gets in position, and it's Adren immediately found. They still have the op as well if Gratisfaction doesn't want to overcommit to the peak, and Doja would find in this round 4 kills if he's able to win it. Bomb to be planted. Gratisfaction was even worried that he pushed all the way through. Look at the HP on either of them. Doja's got control of this. They have to go for a trade peek, and he's going to try and swing out of the way, more so of that Molotov, but also to evade any sort of information they previously had. Nade from his teammate, from Dick Stacy's teammate, nearly takes him down as Doja holds the angle, finds it as well. Now he has that control, taps the bomb. Gratisfaction doesn't have the kit, so he can't hold on to it. Wants to get the kill, and will with the AWP. He's got time.
That was almost fantastically played from Dozier there. He's so unlucky not to get the kill on Grat at Heaven. If he'd made that, that round would have been done and dusted. Good patience from Dick Stacy in the sense he didn't just push straight up sandbag and give away a 1v1 duel. He wasn't to know that Dozier was going to commit to that plant, but the time, you know, it tends to play in these scenarios. Sometimes you're doomed if you do, you're doomed if you don't. Hindsight's a bitch. But they will get the round. And because they were eco, or just on the pistol upgrade, it means this buy from them is very potent. Full utility. A nice spread of diffuse kits. No need for all 5 members to buy kits in my mind. Especially in the earlier stages of the half as you're trying to build an economy. I think 2 to 3 is a pretty good amount to have, and they have 3. No AWP being picked up, so it will be 5 AK-47s for Gambit, which is normally telling of an execute.
It's a great point. You say 5, Hobbit doesn't have anything. Still telling him an execute.
Maybe he can just entry. Well, it is a fast B play.
Yeah.
He had the option. He actually had the option to buy utility. He has 4,600 left in the bank. So he's just going straight on in here. Going to entry onto the bomb site. Going to be completely blind.
Was Malta that blind? Our graphics certainly didn't make it seem so. Perhaps he was because he was slow to respond. Dick Stacy gets 2. It's Doji and Adren. He's fallen from Mo. The fact that they have utility late and did go for the contact would have meant they would have had a fantastic post plant if they could have gotten into the site cleanly, but they still have work to do. Urkis is down toward the pit, and there he shall perish. On this day, we gather here, dearly beloved, to mourn his loss, but Gratisfaction has revenge. He'll find Mo, and the bomb's still not planted. Mir only has 17 HP.
Difficult task, but the angles that the players from Grayhound are playing offer up headshot angles for Mir, who, with the reposition, has snuck his way up Monster. Now on the ramp, able to take and isolate 1v1 duels, and you can see Dexter is concerned with a flank. He spotted 1 as the headshot and no trade potential due to how far away Dexter was. Flash will come out, completely blind, and there's the kill. Mir with a huge 1v2 to rip away a round from Grayhound, who were attempting to build an economy here, and cool, calm, and collected are the Gambit guys, as Dexter has to be questioning how he found himself in that environment. Really no need to go for that pick until the bomb plant had begun. 40 seconds left on the clock. Even if you'd let him get out of dodge, still could have played the clock a little bit better there. But Grayhound slapped back down to pistols.
Oh,
It's a nice shot.
super convincing. Brilliant.
Making up for last round with a nice opening kill onto Mo. 4 more to be found, and 4 members of Grayhound occupy the B bomb site. Once again, the short push comes out. Boosting over towards the sandbag they are. Yoda, we will.
Ooh, another little boost to see.
Why they? I think they just made noise.
So they'll spot out toward back monster.
Why are they doing it with the guy with the 1 pistol that isn't going to be able to do enough damage with 2 bullets?
Get a deagle up there, boys. Big old Dexter's the one with the deagle, though, and he's on the other side of the map. He's got the opening kill. I like the clever tactics, mate, but it didn't work out, did it, Shed?
That's not bad.
That wasn't supposed to be Australian.
Well,
Was it more Australian?
Yeah. What was it meant to be?
I don't really know. I kind of started as British and led my way over to your place.
It wasn't bad, to be fair.
Nice. Did all right. Okay.
Unintentionally.
Couldn't do it again if I tried. I'm really bad at that. I'll always start with one accent and somewhere completely different.
I can't do accents at all.
Adren, meanwhile, though, does get to the bathrooms. Good nade damage on the Gratisfaction. Dick Stacy removed completely by Doja, and Adren will capitalize on the other. That's a bit of a problem. He saw them both, but he didn't know which way to go. And Doja's got Malta back, though, so it's all fine and dandy. As it's Turkist in behind the truck, he'll take nade damage.
Surely that was
planted.
a missed grenade.
Well, they've made this expensive for themselves.
How did that, was that an intentional grenade?
To clear out truck?
Yeah, but
You don't really throw a nade there, do you? But I
No.
guess if you know they're on pistols and have no armor, you might as well.
look at the absolutely ridiculous position Greyhound are in. They have to go for another pistol upgrade.
All right, Chad. Calm down, you savage.
No, because I know how you feel as a CT in this position. It's like, boys,
Yeah.
what are we even doing right now? So pistol upgrade, armor on most. Utility scattered between a few. An aggression by Dexter this time, not with the deagle. That smoke is going to give him a chance to push up behind it, but the obvious play is exactly this. Hopefully the flash can come through to give him a chance to swoop, to strike. And there it is, pushes through. We'll get one. Dexter with an opening again and can re-smoke this position, but does he know that one has already made it across to the playground? Appears to be looking over to that quadrant. Should scamper back. Has no need to continue to re-aggress here. On the other side of the map, kills will go down, and we do see Dexter finding another. He's getting a lot done. He's taking the action in his own hands.
Wow, that's a strong slide. Doja get him eventually, but Gratisfaction. Hey. This is turning around tremendously. It's a 1 versus 3, and Doja needs to get all of them with 29 HP to work with.
You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, round.
round. Ba, 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 dun, dun. It's a great website dedicated to that song. Doja does get the first cleanly. This gives him a chance. Has the bomb, has the other two divided. Will he have any idea, any inclination at all, though, that Urkist is, oh no, going out toward long. I think Doja lagged out. Or maybe that was just us.
I
think that might have been just us.
before as well.
No, I think it was just us because he died not where we saw him freeze. He died over by the truck.
And the pause is also not taken.
Yeah.
So
not to be alarmed. Good push from Dexter through the smoke to start it off. He's menacing, isn't he?
very up close and personal with the best weapon of choice in that environment, I suppose. There is a timeout taken, this one by Gambit. I'm sure Blade just wants to say, boys, settle on in. We're winning the gunnies. Don't worry so much about this. We're all good. Everything's good in the hood. I'm Big Blade Dog.
Big Blade Dog. All right.
But this is a very difficult position if you're Greyhound, right? You just won another round that you probably shouldn't have. So that's the only 2 they've grabbed are from miracle plays. And their money hasn't ballooned to a point where even if they lose this, they're able to buy. And there's a little bit on Malta, enough on Urcast, and the rest are in struggle town financially. So they need to make sure they're able to secure the round, but not only that, keep enough players alive where the drop doesn't become a problem going into the next. Grat continuing to reposition with the AWP, will be Molotoved off the line. It's 3 different positions he's taken, and this is what you want to do as normal. Make sure you post up, See if you can grab the shot. If you can't, move back to the next one. Continue to make sure they have to use utility. Because if they get lazy, you get free kills.
I like free things. Malta still holding with Urkist out toward Monster. Mir.
He's had control of that position for a very long time.
Well, it's Doja and Mir accumulating now to go through. Mo's flashed them over. Mir gets one. Malta gets two as he pops out. They're both in one spot. Bomb flung forward. It's committed to the site, and therefore an incendiary will certainly defend that for longer as Mo's AWP has to hold station. Dick Stacy needs to be cautious not to go too far. Now, the question is with this timing. If Dexter doesn't know that Adren has actually gotten behind him, Adren can flank all the way around. The problem is he only has 20 seconds to do it. Hobbit's got bomb and heading back toward A. This goes the other way. I thought he might try and flank B and kill them off. The fact that he thinks it's clear, Dexter's cut them off. So that I was thinking was going to work out for Adren. It worked out better for Dexter, in fact.
Did you ever watch Dexter's Laboratory?
Ah, see, I was thinking Dexter like the modern show where he like cuts people up and does weird stuff.
Yeah.
I've never actually watched it. Yes, I have watched Dexter's Laboratory.
Was it called Dexter's Laboratory?
Yeah, that's right. And the really annoying sister that like locked him out of the lab one day.
Yeah,
And
why was she such a tool?
it's a good word for her, Chad. None others come to mind.
No, lots come to mind, but none appropriate for broadcast.
Because every show has to have some sort of nemesis.
Yeah, but he fought bad guys. Like, he made, like, giant robots and stuff. That was his whole gimmick. He was like a genius.
She just didn't. She was the sister that didn't get the attention she felt that she deserved.
Well, Gambit's economy hasn't been getting the attention it needs. They've been whittled down to 3 pistols, an AWP, and an AK-47, and B is the approach early as all 5 members are poised over this section of the map where limited utility will be dispersed and explode into the face of Malta momentarily. They want to jiggle peek, they want to step, they want to do a contact play, and in transition he's going to catch them, he's going to make the call, but is it too little too late as he tries to get away, getting blocked by teammates, flashbangs and nades, still able to, in the mayhem, thrive and grab a kill, but we found ourselves in a 3v3 and the bomb should go down momentarily.
Stacy finds an immediate shot to Mo. Doge, yep. Knows that they're trying desperately to get the jump shot applied. Good find from Doji, though. Dick Stacy gone. It certainly appears the Sex God still prevails in that duel pretty much every time they've run into each other in this match. Adren, though, waiting, does catch them going by, and the CZ gets both. Well done from Gambit, and that's a heartbreak, to be completely honest.
Lose complete confidence when the bomb goes down for Grayhound. They have no chemistry. They don't play off each other very well at all in these scenarios. They're picking out and dying without any trade potential, not clearing corners, really struggling in the mid-round. I think a decision needs to be made. If they are going to struggle this poorly, the only time that we've seen them with a huge amount of success is based off the back of aggression. Use the guns, go aggressive, play as a unit, try to win or lose the round in the first 30 seconds. Don't let yourself get into these positions where the say is now in the hands of Gambit, who they're playing these situations so much better, so much more well-rounded of a squad is Gambit, and this is the fear we did have for Grayhound as we knew this match was going to land on their feet.
Dexter, though, perfectly positioned. Catches Hobbit, just barely got away from that.
That's ridiculous that you just turn your back instantly.
Yeah, I would have thought you hold the angle at least, or at least look at it as you back up in case someone else is there. Turns out Adren gets gratisfaction. Not the original player that held that position, but it's still now down to a 4 versus 4. Dexter wants to go back. Silenced M4, just to note.
Those extra 20 bullets, you know, give you...
The extra 10.
Didn't they give you 20 extra in the
reserve? Sorry, in the reserve. I thought you meant the...
Yep. It's not fantastic, but it gives you more of a chance to be a bit more liberal with how you just decide to shoot baddies, and Dozier has no problem doing that. Sneaks up the back line in the bomb site, and another round will quickly unravel for Grayhound as Dick Stacy falls limp next to the truck, shrivels up, rolls over, goes
It's cold
to sleep.
outside. Goes to sleep. Urkist, dead. Adren able to find him. Now it's just Malta.
They're in a very poor position. I think at this point, if you are Blade, you could even take another pause and say, look, the only thing that's worked for these guys has been aggression, which we can't quantify. So we can deal with this in multiple ways. We can just play as a pack and go continue to trade out onto bomb sites and hope that this isn't where they've decided to stack. Or we can sit right back. We can make sure that we clear every corner. Cross our T's, dot our I's. Make sure that they aren't given any opportunity to push up ultra close, because they don't have any money. They got nothing. They're poor in the mid-round. They're struggling with the fundamental basics of the rotations on the CT side. Gambit are more than in full control of this scenario. The only thing that's going to pull Grayhound out of this is some individual brilliance, and Malta is the man with the gun to get that done.
Mir goes all the way around toward the sandbags.
He's really been the general of that position, hasn't he? He's just getting it almost liberally every round. How do you feel about smokes like that against ecos?
I don't know.
I don't like it, personally.
I think Henry would say you got to stick to a default and you've got to just go in and have your obligation. Flight path, I think Yanko started calling it, know where to look, rather than going too late and running into a stack without information. But as soon as you smoke, yeah, you kind of isolate a corner and give them an angle. Is that what you're kind of implying?
Yeah, because so the pistol players, obviously they only have USPs in this environment. If we're talking CZs and the whatnot, it's almost like moth to a flame with a smoke, because you want to play around it, right? You have an opportunity now to use it to your advantage, as opposed to them using it to isolate an angle. That smoke's to get rid of an AWPer, not to get rid of a CZ player.
I don't mind smoke sites, site smoke, sorry, to get in.
Yeah, deep
late.
smokes, right?
Yeah, but yeah, that's a little bit weird. That's almost better with the flash in that situation.
Yeah, or you could go about it multiple ways, getting long control first and then coming back through the bathroom so you don't have to worry about as many angles. There's lots of different decisions to be made. It obviously has no impact on this. It's more of a general thought as opposed to anything that has impact on this round. The bomb is down, the timer has begun, and the hunt from Mir.
This could be massively beneficial. He runs into Malta. It might change, though. He actually outweighs him right now with the armor and M4. And as such, Mir's actually tagged immediately by him down to 12 and only gets 1 kill. If he could have gotten the other 2, that would have been huge money.
What he did offer up is information on where that M4 is, so if they want to continue to isolate that position, they know how they need to swarm. Dick Stacey above the ladder with the silence USP for him to get a kill, regardless of the HP of Dosia, still should be a difficult one. And through the floor he gets spammed, tickled down to 12, and the position will be cleared. Just gets away by the skin of his teeth. Now, 9 rounds to Gambit on the T side of their map choice, Overpass to the 3 of Grayhound Gaming. Grat's going to get the AWP again. If they can get 6, if they can grab these last 3, if they can pull up their socks, they do still have a chance. A T-sided pistol and the conversions will see them quickly skyrocket up to 9, but there's a lot of ifs and buts and a lot of action still to get through before we even think about getting to that point. It's a bit of a different approach this time. Mo a little bit more passive over towards the T-stairs. Hobbit and Adrena working that connected position again where they were traded earlier by Dexter, but now through the connector they've grabbed sewer control. Very easy for them to do an execute at this point. Not a lot of utility left for Grayhound, and Malta will fall. Trades will come in. B again appears to be the point of attack. Now Dick Stacey, the only man left standing over here, has a lot of work to do. Tags up a little damage, will fall to Mir. Save is the call. And as an in-game leader of the past, it brings back nightmares to know that you're completely isolated, completely locked out, and have no opportunity to even
Well, you said it, touched on it a little bit earlier as well, in that every time the bomb goes down, you lose all confidence for Grayhound. So it's now double digits for Gambit, T-sides, Overpass, the map choice of the opposition. That's a telling statement in itself.
Good signs for Gambit, though, within the tournament, right? Dropping that first map was a difficult point to see. Now, in my mind, whoever won this game was going to progress. I didn't see Boot beating Grayhound. I definitely didn't see Boot beating Gambit again.
Yeah, that doesn't happen twice. Gratisfaction could find on Mo to at least keep the up and in his hands, which that means it carries over. Money. There or thereabout. Drop available from Gratisfaction, and they should be able to force out around it. Gambit, meanwhile, very healthy. M4 for Hobbit carried over. He won't bother getting rid of that for the sake of an AK. Why bother? M4's... Okay, so one FAMAS, actually just one M4. And I guess 2 silence. It counts. It's still an M4, right? It's the A1, not the A4. The UMP, fast play.
Paper sizes.
Adren, super fast play, runs straight into Malta, who had a flash go in his favor. So too did Dick Stacy, because Hobbit was found completely blind. Mo manages to at least find him in return, but they're actually in a deficit on the Gambit side. So the fast play doesn't pay off. Maybe they were expecting less to work with. On that CT side, Mo is working wonders, though, as he finds a perfect angle. Slow but sure toward Urkus. That opens up access for his teammate in Doja to bring the bomb to the site. Got to be reasonably quick on this, though. Doja's hesitant. They think that there's an angle being held off by the AWP, and this gives Dexter all the time in the world to get closer. 1 or 2 steps, just quickly back to walking, and Doja's done for, no question about it. He gets around the corner for now. The only saving in this is, yeah, no, they're both done. Sees him, bomb down, Mo looks in that direction, and here comes Gratisfaction to find the alternate angle. 54 seconds, spraying into the wood. Mo's on 22 HP.
Look how hesitant they are just to take the duel and finishing him off here. The fact of the matter is these rounds have fallen apart time and time again, and Grat will miss another shot of his own. Dexter will finally find the kill, finish it off, and put a much-needed 4th round on the board. But once again, Matt, you can just see the confidence in those kind of situations is completely and utterly void from the Grayhound Gaming side of things. As we do have Grat, the AWP player, on your screen just there. It has been a lot of B play. They've been going to that bomb site a lot more than A. They've been steering clear of the big green of Grat. And I don't know if that's by design or if that's just where they in practice find most of their success.
Dexter again, the one who did all the great work on the flank last round, starts off this one by getting a Adren. He's been very good in this aggressive position toward Fountain. We saw it with a CZ. We're going to see it again with an M4. Finds 2, but Doja's had enough of that. Gives him the backhand as Mir gets Urkus. We're back, reset to 3s. Quick little 3-on-3 street tournament.
I was listening to a podcast about some basketball league they're doing in the States with some old people doing 3v3s, but it doesn't really have anything to do with Counter-Strike, and Hobbit doesn't seem to care about what I'm saying either as he gets 2 kills. B again is open, and now Grat with the close range AWP has one of the most difficult corners to clear. I don't even think he's going to check this at all, and he won't as Hobbit gets 1 more for the round, puts 11 on the board for Gambit. And that's all she wrote, I think, as we're going to head on in to the break and come back after to check out how this one concludes between Grayhound Gaming and Gambit Esports on Overpass.
11-4, Gambit have a substantial lead. Despite Mir's somewhat look of indifference, they are in a good position with map 1 already in the books. They just need 5 more rounds on the defensive side of Overpass to get a berth in a decider match in the group a little bit later on. In fact, tomorrow, Group B.
Tomorrow, yeah.
That is correct, Chad.
1 best of 3 a day from ChinaJoy, so make sure you don't miss them because there's not a game coming after. You want to tune in. If you missed that, you've missed it all, basically. But this is Grayhound's last chance to stay in this tournament. Dexter with the P250 smoke flash. Everyone else on Les Armeurs. Slow start to the round. Adren poking for information over towards Fountain. Doesn't catch anybody poking their little head up. Offering it up on a silver platter by any means. And up connector they come. I assume the flash from Dexter will come over the wall. They'll bust on out and take toilet control. If I was a gambling man, that would make the most sense. No flash, just a dry peek and 1 bullet and Grut's dead. So let's continue to run at the USP at range, shall we?
Dren's going to swing it back out toward the bomb site. Get the first kill, fall back, find an alternate angle while they approach onto him. He's got to be somewhat careful of that reload, though, because Urgist went for Mo. It worked out. I thought it would have been a Dren that was spotted first with the smoke down. It's still just a 1-man advantage despite all of this. So bomb to be planted, and it's on the truck. Dexter getting a Dren makes the post plant somewhat favorable. Problem is that you can't use bathrooms quite the same way when the bomb's well over toward the truck, can you?
Yeah, you need to play in a more potentially aggressive position.
I was going to say, yeah, this was the position you could, but Hobbit's got it.
Yeah, with him coming in from long, it's going to put so much pressure on Dexter, who doesn't even suspect this is an option. As I say it, he flicks around, he turns, he makes a big kill there, and the hopes and dreams of Grayhound are still alive as the bomb ticks furiously away. It's tapped on by Mia, but he doesn't have the kit, and this round is definitely going in the favor of Grayhound as time's up, even if the kill comes in, and it won't. Overcast does enough. Now, let's assume that we have enough time. We might cut back from a camera shot so that MC can draw something on the map for me. I want to talk about why I think the flash should have been over the hedge as opposed to used on the bomb site. Let's see how lucky we get. Let's see how we linger looking at the faces of the players.
Well, as we hear everyone clicking through some options, I presume on the Observer PC, it's Gambit conceding an all-important round that Grayhound will be delighted to take.
Oh, we've got it.
There it
So
is.
if you look at the A bomb site, if you use the flash like they did, the Glock's already pushed up close. If the flash was used over the hedge, go and put an X on the hedge back over near Fountain. It's a black wall right there on the right. Yeah, up a little bit. It's all right. You get the gist of it. We'll do it later. Yeah, that one. I would have flashed over there as I was Dexter. It would have allowed the players to go in and push up. That's exactly what I was talking about. We've got it. We've nailed it. Let's get back in to the game as the nades will come out to disperse any potential aggression. There is a scout on Mo, so those nades would have served a purpose if he was there, but he will not be in that position. He'll actually be over towards long, which does tend to be a port of call for teams on the T side of anti-ecos because they know that's a position where the rifle should have an advantage. The problem is, if you spot that position, you get tagged by a scout, what's your protocol? Do you panic? If you panic, you run into the pistols.
I always panic.
Yeah, me too. I was running around my hotel room screaming.
Okay. No details on that one?
That's when I'm alone. Your head's there with other people in there.
Stacy, meanwhile, is going to make contact toward B. They, in fact, all will. He's just the one to lead it because why not? Mom. Smoke to the window. Covers off anyone rotating back over from the stack, which won't all go together, if at all, given that there's quite a buy from Gambit. They may elect to just hold on to everything that they have. One of those rare rounds where 10 players may actually stay alive. Mir's already tagged. Now, it's not up to Gambit if that is the case, if 10 players stay alive or otherwise, because it's Grayhound that can go hunting and change things, and they certainly are. Dexter leads the way with Mac 10, but he goes toward long, and no one is in that direction. I really want this to happen.
Hey, he's got one of my guns.
Let's be pacifists.
He's got one of my guns.
Is it your gun, though?
Yeah, look. Look. It's a Blaze. It's got my. It's a souvenir. It's against Titan. ESO1 Cologne 2015. Put that in Google. Check that out. That's one of the greatest games of Counter-Strike ever played.
Oh, Mir died. Why? Why? I wanted to be pacifists that round.
All right, respect. Massive respect right there.
He's digging it. He is digging it. Well, I don't have one of your guns, Chad. So
Everyone needs to do their homework
say about
tonight, Matt. I want to send everyone watching right now after the day of broadcast is finished into Google, ESL1 Cologne 2015 Titan versus Renegades Mirage. I want everyone to watch it, and I want them to report back with their findings.
I'm definitely going to steal someone else's homework. Mo, before you can retort to that, was out toward the fountain with the scout. I saw you open your mouth, Chad.
I was going to make... I was going to say you could have the excuse that your dog ate it. Because you have a dog.
Yeah, I know, but she's well trained. She doesn't do that. Okay? How dare you accuse my dog? Hobbit out toward long. He's jumping up and down. CZ in hand. So it's going to go to 11-7 most likely, given the weapon situation. And that Gambit is being patient to try and get into a gun round. Now, keep in mind, they did keep everyone alive except for Mir. So they're actually carrying the weapons over. That armor specifically, the scout maybe, Mo elects to keep it. He is the op, he won't be able to afford an op, etc. But the armor is still going to be valuable in the next round as well. And that's having elected to go armor, which we didn't see Grayhound do in the first half. That's the means that they can get out the utility. So they still have to be somewhat efficient in this round if they don't have a chance at it.
The thing is, if both teams opt to just allow each other to keep whatever they have,
no.
I think you're right. They should have just kept that armor, right? Why not? Why not just hold on to the armor and then you can go into the first gun round and just upgrade on what you had?
Yeah, and they've given that up.
It's very silly.
Yeah.
Well, that's silly. That's ridiculously silly. What is the point of that? Why not just reload your gun? I was just saying how cool you were for having the UMP Blaze Sponge Edition, and then you do that.
He played like a Spud.
Yeah, Spud Flanagan, we call him. Anyway, I'm going to try and hold on to this UMP. If you can get a kill with it, that's some extra money in the bank. $600. Oh, there it is. So 2 kills. Bit of money on the board.
He's got another one. He's surely got another one. Ah, Malta.
But yeah, you can immediately see, well, we can immediately see, the way that the economy has been affected by the force buy with armor early. So you're going to see the buy come through, and you're going to notice a couple of things lacking. No AWP, very few defuse kits, and limited utility. Only 2 Molotovs being able to be bought, only 3 smokes, and very, very few flash bings.
Flash bings.
Flash bing.
Like a bing ting singlet.
Yeah. $20 is $20. I'm sure you saw that one while you were there.
I don't know that I did.
Ah, it's just a t-shirt that says $20 is $20.
Oh, I did see that one, yeah, in Kuta when you're walking through.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Smoke down at Monster. Gratisfaction holds back.
I think a contact play, like if you do something like this where you're just going to flash through with all the utility that you see Grayhound have, it's a waste. You know you have the utility advantage. If you're just going to go in like this, you deserve to get punished, and Hobbit lingering over the smoke has... Oh, never mind, not even him.
Well, either way, it is Gambit, and punishment is indeed dealt. Gratisfaction against 4 has the op. Well, that's about all he's got. So Gambit will find number 12. Bomb down. Gratisfaction falls away.
Here's another free lesson, because this round's over. Here's the free lesson. If you have the utility advantage, and you know that they had force buys earlier, you know that they invested in armor, you know that going into this round that they're going to be weak and have to play heads-up Counter-Strike, don't do the one thing that heads-up Counter-Strike loves. Walk in based off a pop flash and give them multi-frag potential. First of all, bleed out their utility. Second of all, once that's done, do a set piece of your own. Now you have the utility advantage. You displace them with Molotovs. You use the flashbangs and smokes that you have to make them uncomfortable. You've just given yourself the most uncomfortable position possible, wasted a truckload of utility, and now have put yourself back up against the ropes in a round that should have been yours, where you could have broken the economy, you could have forced them to eco, you could have been back on stead with 10 rounds on the board. Grayhound, that's another free lesson. I'll be handing them out all day. Use your noggins.
Noggins.
You bloody galars.
Yeah, sorry, what?
Bloody galar.
Galar.
A galar's a bird.
All right. There's not many birds in Shanghai.
Well,
Well,
I
I
see the
was
little
pointing that
ones.
out.
I see the little ones.
Sparrows, the little tiny guys.
Is that what they're called?
I think they're sparrows. I could be wrong. I saw like 5 birds total, other than the little sparrows that jump around on the buildings and stuff. Might be air pollution. It might be other reasons. I'm not sure. Just habitat in general. Urkus down in the underpass already, is just holding back at this point in time, not wanting to contest, doesn't have much to work with. As an AK, he's got lots of utility. I shouldn't say he doesn't have much to work with, but in terms of his positioning, he doesn't, because his teammates are not there with him. They actually are leaving him to his own devices while they get position out toward long. He'll start to approach now. Hobbit and Mir already, by the way, have construction.
Yeah, it's quite a forward position to have, and that means that if they do want to get toilet control and then pivot into an A fake, swing backing through to B, that level of information is huge. That is enough to completely stifle any mid-round plays, any mid-round fakes, anything along those lines. Damage onto Mir through the wood doesn't do enough to make him reconsider his position. Mo also very forward towards long. Could get caught out between a rock and a hard place here as Dick Stacey from behind the rock will find the kill. Adren has to drop back. And this is where now, if they decide to make a fake with 30 seconds left, the push, the position of Hobbit is going to be crucial. Look at him creeping up behind. 3 kills could be given to him any second as there's one. It's done enough to stifle this. It's confused. And in the mid-round, everything will fall apart for Grayhound once more as decisions are not something the Australians are too well known for, falling one after the other into the blender of the A site after finding the opening kill. More indecisive than my ex-girlfriend with dinner decisions.
You sure that's not just me and you just referred to me as your ex?
Are you indecisive with dinner decisions?
Extremely. I know what I want, but when there's someone else involved, I don't want to let them down. So
there's like a trick that you can do, right? It's like, oh, like instead of going, where do you want to go for dinner? It's, hey, we're going to go out for dinner. It's a surprise. Where do you think I'm going to take you? And then she'll say the one place she wants to go. And then you've tricked her. And you're like, yeah, that's where I'm taking you.
Yeah, until she goes, I don't know where.
Well, look, let's hope that's not the case. Or you go, I'm going to take you to your favorite place. Like, I don't know. It needs some work.
Yeah, it needs some work. Adren doesn't need any work. Pistols, short work. He takes down Dexter and Urkus. The first one's not bad. It's kind of like when you have a friend that you can't remember the name of, and you're like...
Oh, you got to trick him into saying their name.
No, you've got 3 people, right? So let's say you and I approach Stunna, and I can't remember his name. I'm like, oh, this is my friend Chad.
Sure.
Chad's like, hey, I'm Chad. The guy goes, hey, I'm Trace.
Okay.
And then, Trace, got it. That one works. Hobbit takes down Dick Stacey, Transfaction, and Mulder. Doji actually got 1 kill stolen out. 14-7, similar scores, scenes all together is what we saw in Dust 2.
Yeah, it feels very similar. Gambit are in control. You can see the clear mistakes and things that that Grayhound need to work on going forward. We've definitely seen rounds that are nice. We've seen setups rounds that are nice. We've seen good strategies. It's just within the chaos, within the harder points of decision making is where they definitely lack. And this will be their last chance right here as they have strapped together a buy. Grat on the AWP. AKs for everybody else. They want to be heading straight towards that B bomb site. On the other side of things, you can see that the aggression is out towards the balloons. So information being gathered there, and this appears to be another one of these contact plays through the smoke where they are going to go into the blender of Hobbit. Nade comes in, flash comes over. Hobbit's only able to get 1, and now Dosia behind the pillar has a lot of work to do. Can pivot, and does so. The trades now continue to fall 1 for 1. As Mir behind the sandbag will be boosting, or getting boosted up and over, and he's been spotted. That means they know where the last 2 players are. They have a really good opportunity to sandwich them here as, for whatever reason, Grayhound have thought it makes more sense to drop all the way back. Now, the problem is water control is actually in the favor of Gambit. Popping up the ladder is Mir. The bomb dropped at his feet, and now what was a very easy B bomb site to take has become a very difficult bomb to retrieve. 47 seconds left, so time is not necessarily of the essence.
They've definitely got the bomb gathered. Urkus is certainly taking his time about it because he doesn't want to go down now, especially, and the round would certainly conclude. But it's the information and positioning that Mo and Mir have. Now, Gratisfaction has to open the door That is changed. Mo's going to do it for him. Op versus op, but one's gun barrel showing the other.
why?
Oh, he missed the no-scope. He actually walked into Mo, who was watching sandbags. Gratisfaction had all the advantage in that situation, gives himself up.
All he had to do was scope and go. It was a free kill. It was served up on a silver platter.
Truthfully, he also didn't even really need to peek it.
No.
Because Urkus was running long. He already knew that he couldn't be spotted.
Oh, that is a blunder and a half right there. And now Urquhart, known for his clutching prowess with the Australian realms, has to do a tall task here against Gambit. Grabs one, but gets tagged down to 54. Picks on out, gets the second, and keeps Grayhound alive. What was an absolutely messy round still falls in the favor of Grayhound, but Jesus, Joseph and Bloody Mary, they need to pull up their socks because this one's quickly getting away, and the elephant blows its trunk once more.
I heard a hilarious joke about
Elephants?
religion the other day.
Oh, okay.
And it was the entire principle of religion, although this speaks mostly to certain religions,
Sure.
is based upon a girl who had a baby and wouldn't admit to cheating.
Okay.
Because it wasn't Joseph's
Yeah,
baby.
sure, sure.
Come on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot to that.
there is. She lied about cheating. Yeah,
That's all right. We'll just get the entirety of a civilization to believe in miracles.
I believe in miracles.
It's going to be a miracle if
You
Greyhound
sexy
come back.
thing.
If Greyhound come back, I will be hugely surprised. I don't want to put a bow on it just yet. There's always hope, and this is a very big round. If they're able to grab this one, they break the economy of Gambit, put themselves in a position to definitely get to double digits and maybe step even further over that line. But they can't have the messy rounds like we've seen. Connector control, theirs. Sewer control, theirs. They don't even need to apply too much pressure over the toilets. They're not to know, but there's a defensive setup coming in from the likes of Gambit, and transitioning now into the toilets from long with the AWP will be Mo. So he maintains a lot of information. And the time now appears to be the enemy, as the clock is down to 40 seconds, and it has to be a B play. Adren can cheat over, can bolster the defense. As both teams have used almost all of their utility. Smoke grenades are plenty, however, for Greyhound, but with the way that Gambit are positioned on the B side, it's not going to really do too much for them. The last bits of utility to delay are now being used, and the pressure is on, and this is where we've seen Greyhound fumble, but this time they open with a big kill. This is the chaos that normally finds them unstuck. Bomb will go down.
Bomb will go down, but Malta's lost to Adren. That gives him access back toward jungle, and in doing so can look down catwalk. He won't get there in time so as to spot Dick Stacy, who has gotten away and out toward water. Dexter takes out Mo in the window, and this is Adren bugging out and going home.
Yeah, if you look at their money, let's just hit tab. We can take a look at the overall for everybody.
He wants that op, but he doesn't want to go for it too soon. He knows the bomb's also going to put it a little bit closer. Dexter.
Well, Dexter's dead at this point.
He has to run.
He's going to be lucky if he can even get away.
I think you're right. No, I don't think he does. 19 has to surf that. Elects not to.
Ooh.
He might be. He might be fine at the spools.
Tight like a tiger.
No, gone. I thought the spools might have been the cutoff on that. Either way, Adren gets the op. That's all he wanted in that situation, given that it was already too far gone. So 14-9. Still a chance that Greyhound pull this back. Slim one, but a chance.
The problem is, if they run into Mo's AWP and one player goes down, they find themselves in a 4-on-5 disadvantage scenario. Mir gets one with the CZ. Dosia pops his head out with the P250.
P250.
Hobbit kills 2 with the 5-7. And that's all she wrote, is Momo has gone down below with the AWP. Only 6 kills on the old boy, and they're winning very easily, so he doesn't have to do too much. And Dren pushing up, he's going to almost get the kill. Carl's put down 53 points of health, and the main contingent, led by the big dick himself, are pushing up long.
It's a long Dick Stacy.
This is the tip of things.
Well, he's gotten inside of the site, but he's absolutely... It's Doja every time. Every single time.
It's not often you see a duel like that, right? But this seems to be repeating itself time and time again. Look how split up Greyhound are.
Look at Mir.
And look how scared they are of one guy on the bomb side. Man.
Look at Mir.
Man, I can't watch this round.
All right. You close your eyes, Chad. I'll tell you when you can open them. Not right now, because Mir's actually got one on the flank and now has an AK. Mo's also got 2 on the AWP. It's gone. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. Shh, for the sake of Aussie CS, just pretend not to associate.
Why
it's
not
fine.
just
I'll let you
trade?
off the hook this time.
Why not just trade Dick Stacy on the
You know, if you were a better
side?
mentor and in-game leader, the scene would be in a better position, Chad.
Why not just trade?
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. That was rude.
That's all they had to do. It was only one guy.
It's true. Doja just absolutely mind-gamed them
They
on
all
that
just
one.
stopped.
Okay, well, now they're going, but Malta's going to eventually run out of favors. It's Mo that gets a 3rd kill, and map point, series point for Gambit.
I feel like I'm having like a mental breakdown all over again. I'm having a midlife crisis. Alrighty, last potential round of the game, round number 25. Menagerie of a buy. Scraped together by Grayhound Gaming. As they try to fight and stay in this one, Mo will open the account with the AWP. Hobbit strikes with one of his own, 3 on 5, 1 minute 30 into the round, and now Dexter with the AK, the only gun that can get anything done, will find a kill, but gets dinked down to 14 HP. Nade is going to land at his feet. I think that tickle 1 point of damage there, but it's getting dire as Dick Stacy in the back. Whew. Surprise, he says, as he finds a second, and I don't know why Mir was not expecting him to be in that aggressive position.
Could be the last round of the tournament for him, but he's not going out without a bang. Doja gets him behind.
No one wants to leave Shanghai without a bit of a bang. There are fireworks on the street.
True. Doja, meanwhile, gets toward the bathroom position. Thank you, toilet, for flushing on cue. You might want to give that one a courtesy flush. I did have a lot for breakfast this morning. He'll work up long. Bomb planted in default. Hobbit, meanwhile, nowhere to be found. Down below in the window, so they are electing to save this Hobbit. Rather, excuse me, Doja just wants to make it expensive. He'll get 1 kill, does have a kit, but can't get on it. Didn't have the time to do so, nor would it have been likely. Dick Stacy wouldn't have been on the case. So 15 to 10.
Imagine if they didn't have that blunder of an anti-eco round. Imagine where their economy would be. Imagine more so where Gambit's money would be. Gambit of throwing together a buy. And you do have the UMP on Dosia, but he does play a very annoying style of CS, so it shouldn't be too many issues for him to use that gun wisely. Grayhound have got a good buy going on there. Potentially a good buy as well, as is the, once again, potential last round. Your boy Hobbit's got a silence them for.
Attaboy. Hobbits. Meanwhile, it's Mo. Hobbit's been quiet in this series throughout. He's only on 15 again this time. Mo, despite having some contribution on the AWP, is only on 11, that being his 11th.
It's crazy how much Mir and Adren have been able to do, and Dozier, of course. Mir had that clutch, Adren had the 2v1 as well, so that was 2 2v1s in the first half that did fall in the favor of Gambit. That's kind of where we fizzled out with our faith in the Grayhound Gaming. They're boosting over the flower pot. Peekaboo. And now we're tied up at 4-4. Grat continuing to work long with the AWP. There's a lot of utility on the board, and once again, I now lose complete and utter faith, even though Urk grabbed that kill. This is where the mid-round gets messy. This is where the mid-round gets bad.
Well, they're going to rotate bomb back over toward B. Malta still taking his time to clear every single position because they didn't have any information as to what was over there, but better safe than sorry. They'll get toward Monster. Doja, the man with a plan to try and shut them down. Stan.
Up close and personal, these are the annoying positions that we talk about. Dozier seems to do it better than most, so swinging out with the perfect timing. UMP will strike, flash comes in. He isn't able to re-pick the position, but the smoke isn't a wall, it's merely shrouding his line of sight. And now we have a 2-on-3 situation.
Shroud subs, what up? Get your emojis in the chat. Adren through Monster, found by Gratisfaction, gave up too much noise. Doge is left in a 1 versus 3. We've got an 11th round for Grayhound.
very surprised that they're bringing this back in such form, considering the amount of blunders that they've made. If they didn't lose those 2v1 situations into the first half, if they were able to close out that anti-eco scenario that unfolded and had me closing my eyes merely a few rounds ago, this one could have actually been put in the back pocket of Grayhound, and we may have seen ourselves delve into a third. However, it just feels like Gambit is still in control, regardless of the fact that they do have to take an eco now. I feel they're dangerous at any point, and that's not by anything they're doing right. That's by the mishaps that Grayhound are throwing at the feet of Gambit. It's going to be a long play with a flash bang. Grat could be overwhelmed here in late ground. Flash comes out, the train of aggression continues, and there's no one close to help him out. Stepping from one side, grabs the kill. Pivots and grabs another. That's 3 for him, as what should have been a kill has now survived, and 12 rounds on the board for Grayhound. The buy comes in. Mo immediately gets that M4 in hand. Hobbit finds one of his own. Taking a quick look at the money situation, it's not going to be the best buy by any means. Utility, low. AWP, nowhere to be seen. Diffuse kits, 1. This comeback has just become possible.
Yeah,
I would have taken the double eco.
It's the economy that becomes the issue. I mean, they only need 1 round, so they're eager to close it, but it's going to be a problem if they lose this one. We go 15-13, probably 14, and that means round 30, and anything can happen. Adren does get out early to the smoke at the party. Balloons. He'll back off, though. Flash in his direction, didn't get any information, didn't want to peek late. So instead, it's now Malta that holds the right side of Monster. Smoke down. He's anticipating perhaps even a flash to go his direction, and that Gambit's getting restless and want to try and close it. Doja won't. He'll hold the boost instead toward construction. Even that, they'll subside because timing. As such, they need information, and they didn't get it from doing that, so they'll have to come up with an alternative plan. Mo has good position in the bathroom connector. Adren's going to start to watch out long for him. But a little bit of noise and activity to the front side of the site, and he realizes he probably should be closer to it, because if they put all their eggs in one basket, so to speak, everyone looking at long, they could actually be retaking and not ever see them walk toward the site. Good find for Mo in the first. Looks behind him, expecting more. Switches the guns. No. Urkus would have spotted that, but nearly got taken down as well. He's optimistic, Mo, thinking someone's going to be behind. Not ready for Dick Stacy to pop out of the bathroom and immediately find him from the same angle, having already gone by.
Malta's about to get taken down by Hobbit here. That position that he's playing is a very difficult one to clear, as you have to worry about 3 or 4 different zones, but that Molotov gives away his position. Swinging out, isn't going to get the kill, and now we find ourselves in a 2-on-4 situation. Gambit, 15 seconds. So close, Matt.
Somebody get this man of Viagra, because Dick Stacy's going to have to go hard. He leads the charge to the site. Hobbit's already got him down. It's just going to be Gratisfaction in a 1 versus 4 that has ended terribly. It's now going to be 12 rounds that they are halted on, and Gambit that moves on. 2-0, 16-12, the final score on Overpass.
Yeah, general vibe there felt like Gambit were in control of that entire situation, even though it was a valiant effort from Grayhound. Have a lot of mistakes to look at, have a lot of questions to be asked as they do move forward. They will be at DreamHack Masters in Stockholm. But that's the end of their tournament run here at IEM Shanghai, and I think we have some lovely faces over at the analyst desk ready to run us through this one.
Run it through, we might do just that. Thank you very much, Chad and Matthew. I believe that will be the last time we hear from them today, and I hope nothing but the best for those guys. Like, absolutely nothing but the best. Anyway, so Grayhound out. A big oof on the side of the Oceanic region, but on the other hand, Gambit have secured a path.
And I think it's a fair statement to say that Gambit played a fair and square game here. I think they upped their level from yesterday. It wasn't too bad. After all, you saw some of the players step up as well. In particular, Mer had a great game. Doja as well here, and Overpass did well for himself. So we've seen pretty much all the Gambit players now have a moments of shine, and that's a good sign going into to the next match against Boost, or the rematch, which they ended up losing yesterday. So overall, I would say well played to Gambit, and for Greyhound's sake, I mean, wasn't necessarily a bad showing, but I think they just faced the better team in that one scenario right here, and they're not ready for this level just yet.
Yeah, and that's a little unfortunate for them, right? I think there was one round where it was Doja alone and Eco hit a P250 A bomb site, and everyone just stopped, and that's kind of like the mentality they had. They were giving too much respect to Gambit. Credit to Gambit, they look like a very different team compared to what they were yesterday against Dreamscape. Now they're going to be playing the Singaporeans, I think tomorrow or the day after, I'm not sure. I think it's tomorrow, right, for another elimination game. So you know, it looks good for them right now going more deeper into this tournament. But for Grayhound, here's the thing. I think it's kind of a wake-up call that they can't play so scared. I felt like they were playing too scared even starting all the way from the map picks, right? They weren't really taking advantage of it. They really weren't taking control of those situations, so to speak. They're also kind of reacting most of the times. And they're going to be going to Stockholm in about less than a month's time, and they're going to be facing a whole different league of teams over there. So they should be kind of like a wake-up call as they go into their practice regimen, their boot camp and whatnot to kind of shake things up. So I don't think they're going to be too disappointed, but yeah, I think they could have been like, hey, maybe if it approached this game a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more differently, maybe it could have been a closer affair. Lots of maybes.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you got it all out.
Yeah, all right.
I didn't know if you did that with one breath. It kind of looked like it was actually impressive. Nice. There we go. Sorry, I had to get one in there for Cardi B. Just kidding. Not absolutely necessary at all. But yes, that does put Gambit up against Boot. That will be a match, I believe, in 2 days' time. Not tomorrow, the day after. As confusing as it might be for you on the other side of the planet, or even us sometimes. Sometimes it's one of those things kind of forget exactly where we are. But I know where we are right now, and that's trying to make sense of this. And Pimp, you really haven't weighed in on exactly how you feel this Gambit Grayhound showing.
Nah, I mean, Gambit played well, as I said, and I feel like we saw some of the tendencies that Blade is trying to implement on this team. It seemed at some points a little bit more structured than normally, but at some points they also played the old Gambit style, which is just basically pick a side and just brute force.
And it was working, right? It was
working, and Greyhound couldn't really find a stop to it. So in that sense, it's okay to do, but I'm just really, really hooked up on see how Blade can form this team in the future as well.
And only time will tell, but this time we're going to get a chance to hear from Adren. He's standing by with Matt Alexander. Let's go ahead and check it out.
I don't know who Matt Alexander is, but I bet he's really, really good at what he does. But I've got Adrian, who's really, really good at what he does. And you're taking Gambit through to the next stage. 2-0 over Greyhound. Pleased with that, or more difficult than you expected?
Pleased with that. It's okay.
Yeah?
It was okay, yeah.
That's it. Right, we're done. No, okay, tell me more, though. It seemed like you couldn't quite close it out at first, but I expected a bigger challenge from Greyhound. Did you?
Yeah, we just expected more, but we've been prepared well. I mean, like our coach watched a lot of games of them, and we exactly knew how to play against them. So yeah, everything went good, and we played well.
We won't dwell on it too much, but I do want to ask you about yesterday's game then against Boots and why you ended up in this lower bracket in the first place.
I mean, yesterday I can't talk much about yesterday because maybe jet lag. We played. We didn't warm up well, but I think they played good. We didn't play our game, and tomorrow is revenge time. So yeah, we'll see.
When you were at DreamHack, you were talking about Mir, and you were saying you thought he was maybe battling nerves and battling with pressure and so on. How has he come on since then?
Every tournament we are attending, he's gaining more confidence and more experience. So yeah, he's really doing great right now about his nerves. So right now I don't see like he's nervous or something. Yeah. Maybe we got some little bit troubles with our structure, in-game structure. So we're changing our game at all. So yeah, everyone is feeling a little bit pressure. So that's why I can tell about that.
You say you're changing your in-game structure. Is that somewhat related to Blade? You've had him for, 10 days or something now, and, he's a legendary sort of game changer for the teams he manages. Are you having to adjust to him, and he's having to adjust to you?
Yeah, for sure. He's bringing a lot of tactics and game style, and this is all about Blade, that he's changing our game. Okay. I'm really enjoying that. I like, and I think in 1-2 months we'll see like a different Gambit.
A different Gambit in 1 or 2 months. That's exciting to see. We'll see what we can see from Gambit tomorrow, though, as they hang around here at IEM Shanghai. But Trez, what do you think of all of that?
I just want to open it up with an apology, Mr. Andrews. I just want to say I'm sorry. But with that, congratulations, Adren. He's going to handshake on my behalf, as you just saw. And, well, I guess on that note, guys, I want to get some closing thoughts here as we round out the end of this match. And, Blair, we'll start with you.
I think it's a good sign for Gambit, right? Like we said, Adrian just mentioned, it's going to take a couple of months before we see a completely new, different Gambit, but I think they're well on their way. I think it's very important for Mir to get that confidence thing going for him, right? And let's be honest, Greyhound wasn't exactly the best opponent they could have faced in this tournament, but if they want to go deeper into this event, and I expect to see Gambit in the playoffs, where they're going to face off the likes of a Tyloo or Hellraisers perhaps, or one of these guys, right? So it's going to be, it's a good sign for them, and for Greyhound, it's going to be a wake-up call.
And really quickly, Jacob, anything that you can close that
Yeah,
out
I'm just really buying into this whole Blade thing. I think in a few months he will have the structure on Gambit needed in order to perform at the highest level again. When they had Zeus, that was the time where Gambit was a great team. They could win the major, or at least go into the final of the major. With the structure Blade's bringing into this team, I believe in a month or two that this could be a good thing. I'm actually buying into this one. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Well, you got to buy into something. You
There
have
we
to
go.
believe in something. You have to have faith. And, well, I have to tell you guys that, unfortunately, we're going to be going to a quick break. When we come back, it's going to be the polls of Virtus Pro, and it is going to be the Hellraisers. Kicking it off here live from the Intel Extreme Master Shanghai. Make sure you're here with us when we come back.
All eyes are on you.